Hello, amazing entrepreneur. It's Tash Corbin here. And this week I want to talk to you about how to price your online course, program, or mastermind. It's a very consistently asked question in Get With The Program, my course about creating courses. And so I wanted to answer that for all of you here on the blog as well. Let's get started. So it's the age-old question, and sometimes it's like, how long is a piece of string? How much should you charge for your online course or program? Well, rather than just say it's totally up to you, which it totally is, I thought I would also give you how I price my courses and programs and how I came up with the pricing structure for some of the courses that I offer today. So one of the things that I say is that you should always know your hourly rate. So for example, you should know, if you're a one-to-one service provider, what is your minimum hourly rate that you charge? For example, if you do 1-hour sessions and they're $150 each, then your hourly rate is $150. Maybe you don't offer hourly sessions, you only offer a package of 10 sessions for $2,000, but your hourly rate is $200. So you don't necessarily have to advertise this hourly rate, but you need to make a decision as a service provider. How much is an hour of your time worth? What is your hourly rate right now? Now, my hourly rate right now is $995. So I don't do anything unless I'm paid at least $995 for the hour, particularly when I'm working with people one-to-one. Now, that means that my one-to-one services are a lot less prevalent these days, and most of the work that I do with people is either in my small group masterminds or through courses and programs. But back when I was first creating online courses, most of my clients came to me and worked with me one-to-one. And so there was an opportunity cost in me putting a course or program together. And also when I created my mastermind, I was therefore committing to taking on more people in working with me. And so I needed to have a way to ensure that I was pricing my programs and courses in a way that made it appealing and kind of a great priced alternative to working with me one-to-one, but also in which I was being paid enough that it was the best use of my time to actually create the courses or facilitate those masterminds. So the way that I do it is a very simple calculation, and it just gives me a starting point. I don't mean that you have to stick to that exact amount when you're pricing up your courses and programs, but it's a great way to find a starting point. So let's simplify the math down and I'll show you how to work it out. So, for example, let's say you're running a group program and it's a small group program online. What I would do is work out the number of hours of contact that people get with you, times by your hourly rate, and then if it's under 10 people in a small group program, I would divide the total price by 2. So for example, let's say you've got a small group program, it's running for 8 weeks and there's 8 1-hour calls with you. So and normally your rate is $100 an hour. So if someone was to work with you one-on-one for those 8 weeks, it would cost them around $800. And you might do an upfront package discount, but it would be around $800. So if it's less than 10 people in that group program that you're aiming for, then I would divide it by 2. So the group program for the 8 weeks would be around $400. So you might like to do $295 early bird and $395 full price, right? Let's keep it nice and simple. If, however, you're actually doing it as a large group program, so it's unlimited people who can join in, or at least more than 11 people are going to be joining the program, then I would divide the hourly rate by 4. So for that 8 weeks, it would be about $200. So you might do $95 early bird and $195 full price, or something along those lines. So that will give you a good starting point to work out what the value of that course or program could be, or a good starting point for the pricing. Now, I've totally plucked these figures out of thin air randomly, and of course it's different for different businesses, but it's a great starting point to make those calculations. I do a similar calculation for masterminds as well, because for a lot of people, if you facilitate a mastermind, it includes some one-to-one work and some group work. And so what I do is I price my one-to-one work at the normal price, so $100 for that 1 hour. Let's say it's a 6-month mastermind and you have 2 group calls and 1 VIP one-on-one call every single month for the 6 months. So the monthly price of the mastermind would be $100 for the one-to-one call and then $100 for the 2 group calls, because it would be $50 per call. Does that make sense? The math might be confusing you, but we're trying to keep it nice and simple. So there's 2 1-hour sessions with you as a group, which would be $200 divided by 2 is $100, plus $100 for the one-to-one call. So the monthly price of the mastermind could be $200. You could do $195. You could, change up the pricing as you wish, but it's a good starting point. It's $200 a month. And then what I do for masterminds is if people pay monthly, that's the price. It's $200 a month. Or if you pay the 6 months upfront, you get one of those months for free. So it's $1,000 for a 6-month mastermind. So you're incentivizing people paying upfront, and then you're charging that regular price for people who pay by the month. Now, rather than go all crazy with all of the maths and all of the other reasons why you might like to charge more or charge less, what I've done is I've actually created a course pricing calculator for you. So you can put into there, what is your hourly rate? How much group time do they get? How much one-on-one time do they get? What is the maximum number of people that you will accept into this thing? And it will spit out a starter early bird price and a starter full price for you to work from for your online course or program. Now, as I said, this is just totally random. It's just a starting point. You don't need to stick to those prices. But what I find is by using these calculations, it helps me to price my courses in a way where it makes sense for people to purchase the course rather than work with me one-to-one. And there's a price differentiation, because I've seen this happen a lot where people have, it's to work with you one-to-one for 6 months is, say, $3,000, and then they launch an online course and it's a 3-month course and it's $1,500. And if I look at that price, I'm like, well, it makes more sense for me to work with you one-to-one. So you're actually demotivating people to purchase your course, and instead they're going to wait and save up to work with you one-to-one because it's not that much more expensive. So you want to create that differentiation between your hourly rates, your one-to-one rates, and your course pricing, as well as incentivize people to sign up early. So that's why I do the pricing the way that I do. As I said, take it or leave it. But normally, whenever anyone is asked the question, how do I price my course or program? The answer is thrown back is, it's totally up to you. And I think, yes, it is totally up to you, but I wanted to give you some more practical guidance. So hopefully that's helped. If you go to tashcorbin.com/pricing, you'll get the link to my pricing spreadsheet and you can go and download that. I'll also make sure that it's included below in the description so that you can access it easily. But the link for you again is tashcorbin.com/pricing, and that's my course pricing calculator. Until next time, gorgeous one, I cannot wait to see you shine. Bye for now.